Well, welcome to the follow-up after show, kind of a web extra for our viewers to talk about some things that maybe we didn't get to in the big show, expanding on some of the topics that we didn't get to in the big show. Jiquanda Johnson, the founder and publisher of Flint Beat, who was on the big show, she joins us for the after show. And I want to talk a little bit about the Flint Beat. How long has it been around? What are you trying to accomplish? How's it going?
We launched officially March 13th, 2017. So it's been a little more than 2 years, 3 years coming up next year. We just launched to fill news gaps in Flint. You know, I'm from the community and talking to residents in Flint and about their needs for news and how I felt about news in Flint. I felt like I could, and so I resigned from my job in a legacy newsroom to launch this beast that we call Flint Beat now.
Now, you are sort of, lack of a better term, sort of a one-man band. I asked you, I said, did you have to get an outside vendor to build your website and get a graphic artist? Because your site is really good.
Thank you.
FlintBeat.com, if you don't know, FlintBeat.com is really good. So tell us how you did that.
I didn't really think about it.
Yeah.
I knew my budget, I had none. And so I just started with some basic templates, breaking things down and shoestring budget. For a good 6 months, I kind of just did it like I would have did if I was working for someone else, keeping up those 2 stories a day, being a city council all the time. And about 6 months in, I said, I need to pay my bills. And so I ended up working a full-time job and running that at the same time. I just recently quit working for other people.
So tell us sort of like the day in the life of Jiquanda Johnson as she works this Flint Beat. Are you out? Are you in City Hall? Are you in the police department? How are you gathering news and how's that going?
It depends on what hat I'm wearing. When
Yeah.
we first started, that's who I was. I was a journalist that was producing content for a website.
Mm-hmm.
Now I function more like a publisher, so I don't write nearly as much as I used to. I might work on projects. We have grown. So this year we have an operations manager now, creative director. We just picked up a fellow. She started November 4th, and so she's covering City Hall. We have a young man that's writing some in-depth pieces for us, more about restoring the narrative in Flint and some solutions journalism work. And we've had a state reporter for some time that's been covering state news from a Flint angle, and that gets picked up in some of our circles often. And so we've grown where I don't have to do as much reporting as I used to. And then I had to think about it differently. So, for example, when the mayor got sworn in, I didn't write a story. I went to City Hall and Facebook Lived it.
Okay.
You know, because I have to be smart about my time and what I'm able to do. And so we had to look at it that way and just make sure we get people the news, whatever platform we could produce it on, that's how we do it.
So you're trying to fill the gap, which is really great because during the body of our show we talked about the changing face of local news coverage. In some ways maybe it's declined, but it's different. So do you see sites like yours who are focusing on Flint and Genesee County not only filling the gap, but that's where, for the future, where if I care about Flint, I'm going to go to your site because the other media outlets maybe aren't covering it as well. I mean, MLive I think does, but in general, local stations, local radios maybe aren't covering it the way you can. You're carving your niche, right?
Yeah, my overhead is different too, right?
Uh-huh.
So I'm at the top, and a lot of times I make sacrifice, and I don't get paid, but my writers may get paid. If I have to pull in a graphic designer, a photographer, I tapped into my kids. I have a youth journalism program in Flint that I launched in 2018 because I saw that there were not people from the community that were journalists that could contribute to this thing. And so, like, my kids, they enrolled in the program. My son happened to like photojournalism, so now he's used for me.
Nice.
And so it's thinking outside of the box, and also, what is my goal? My goal is to empower and impact the community that I grew up in. And so sometimes, like I said, I take a huge hit. I come out of pocket for things all the time to keep this thing going.
Well, good for you. So the end goal, just continue to grow it. You've hired some people. It's already grown in 2 years, and who knows, 3, 4 years from now, it'll be where you want to hire more people and just,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, we have some
Okay.
really, really awesome announcements coming up soon. A couple things I'm embargoed on, but it gets better and better each year.
Okay.
And so 2020 will definitely be better than 2019.
Good for you. Well, Jiquanda Johnson, the founder and publisher of the Flint Beat, flintbeat.com, check it out. It's a really great site of news and information and opinions in the Flint area, so check it out. Thanks for
Thank
coming
you.
in. And thank you for joining us on the After Show.